Hi everyone, I'm your coach Todd Heugly, and today I want to talk about the swinging gait and what I call pull and push, and an approach that really is taking over my coaching, the website, and it's helping students around the world. And before we get into it, please turn down the heat, whoever is responsible for the heat button, as it is scorching in Utah. Now, before we get started, please hit subscribe button, like the videos, comment below, and share. Now let's get after it. So I always talk about there's nothing really new in golf. We kind of know everything, okay? Now there may be different ways of coaching something that clicks with certain people. Now, when it comes to the takeaway, I like golfers to feel they kind of pull the club head back and set that wrist. And it's funny to hear people talk about that or anti that. It's generally kind of an antiquated idea for the one piece takeaway. But I'm really big on golfers getting in touch with that club head right away. Now, the other thought is this pushes forward, okay? And the lead arm helps add speed. The trail arm helps stabilize and add speed. And this approach has been very, very good for older players, younger players that are looking to gain speed, players that are very flexible, players that don't have much flexibility, because it really locks into the levers, the pivot points, and generates a ton of speed utilizing the club head and offsetting forces. Now, to learn to start this, you just basically set up to hit like a little chip shot, feet close together. You kind of just lever the club back and then just push forward, okay? And that will help you learn how to start hitting little push or pull, push, and that's all you're doing, okay? You can hit sand wedge, little lob wedge shots, bump and run shots, any shot you want, doing that, and have a ton of control. And in the junior academy today, they're learning this advanced stuff, and it's incredible how much it has made them really good shot makers around the green. It's pretty cool to see. Now, to lengthen it out, it's just pulling back to there and then just pushing forward with a path that feels it's a little bit more towards that 1 o'clock or just slightly to the right of 12, but it's still swinging on its natural arc. So this club face, it doesn't have any open or close. It's basically just swinging 90 degrees relative to its swing arc all the way around. And that leads to very consistent ball striking. Then we want to get a little bit longer. Same thing. Now we add a little bit more body, but we pull. And then when we push is the point that's going to dictate which shot shape we want to hit. And that just comes from practice, and it becomes very simple. And most people push somewhere in this area, and of course their body's going to be rotating, and we know when the club releases it's going past the hands, but as we rotate, it feels like that's happening, but we still generate a little bit of shaft length. And I'm writing an ebook on this. I'm getting urged to write a book on that. I'm not really a writer, but people want my perspective on that. And I'm redoing a lot of the information on the website based around this, because it just seems to be what golfers are trending to. And I'm adding a new build a golf swing in 21 days section to the website. And again, all the foundational stuff is very important to know, but swinging the club head And controlling the club face is by far the most important thing to me. I see golfers that are so worried about what their bodies are doing, what is going on with their shoelaces, and if their hat is on straight, and yet they can't hit the golf ball more than 20 yards in front of them. And they'll know their TrackMan numbers to a T also. But again, they really can't take the club back and just bonk. They can't do that. And that's something that every golfer should be able to do. And of course, be able to do the infamous L to L. That should be a piece of cake. And Mr. Utley, he has a great idea about the golf swing, you know, the flinging activity. And yes, we want a little bit of shaft lean, but most people get in trouble because they do not fling this club head in the circle. They really let the hands lead, and that's when generally chaos starts to ensue. And that's been my experience with students from all over the world. But when they learn to make a swing, whether, you know, here and let this club go past at some point, even with their body moving, okay, and it all depends on what we're capable of, they become better ball strikers. And again, pull, push, that's the swinging gait. And it really has been eye-opening for a lot of people that have adopted it, because they've gained more speed, they have more control, they're more consistent, and they are shooting lower scores. And it even carries over into putting. So a lot of people are just taught, you know, lock the wrists out, this type of deal, where I believe the putter should get behind your hands at this point, run into the golf ball, and then pass your hands on this point, but not very far, just kind of a stroke like this. It's not very wristy. That's wristy, but here. And I've transformed so many players that were struggling with their putting and their putting arc to doing this. And then all of a sudden they just became these good putters that, you know, they're now going from inside to square, inside to square. And they just are releasing the putter head, which means they're just not dragging or holding on to it. And I know there's a lot of people that will say, whoa, when wrists get put into short game, especially putting. But the students that have been doing it, their putting numbers are incredible. They've taken huge drops. But when it comes to the short game, that little pull push is so invaluable, and I've seen it help so many players. And then in the full swing, to build a pitch shot, and then the L to L, and then the full swing with pull to push, it's just transformed them into complete players.